Being from here, you know, you drive 2 minutes out of town and it feels like you're out in the middle of nowhere. We're surrounded by this vast wilderness all the time, and it's great to live in an environment like this because it just makes you feel a lot more either connected or grounded to the earth. My aesthetic is nature reclaiming architectural space. That's the majority of how I go about my installations, in that it's reclaiming its own sort of area, you know, where it was intended to be. The issue that's been going on for a long time now was the Red River, the river system in Winnipeg, and how many bodies have been found within these river systems. Bodies of Indigenous people and non-Indigenous people both. Before I even started harvesting, within one of the first nights of arriving into Winnipeg, the first night, and I got settled in my hotel and I began to do a bit of research. A week or two before, there was a body found in the river. And I thought, like, how can I incorporate that? Or how can I talk about that? How can I present this idea to the public in a tasteful manner in order to generate discussion, or to hopefully raise awareness about it? And the idea of driftwood and things washing up on the shore came to mind. So that's where the idea came from. When I was installing and putting it all together, the way that it's constructed is that eventually, regardless of wherever I was working, that the whole installation would move. You know, say if I'm tying a knot to a branch way on the bottom left corner, the whole top right is going to move as well, like, so it was all connected, right? And this isn't something that I thought about until that started to happen, until I noticed that started to happen, was that to me that sort of seemed like a metaphor for this sort of situation. That when something like this happens, it happens to the one person. That effect reverberates throughout the family. That effect then reverberates throughout the neighborhood, and then that effect reverberates throughout the community. Regardless of where this happens, everyone feels it. I hope that in the future that people in general, Indigenous people, Indigenous women, and everybody else doesn't have to live in fear that potentially one day they could end up in those rivers.